In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw white fur with colored pencils. So the first thing that I'm going to do with drawing this white fur is use a light shade of a cool gray color as kind of the base layer. One of the characteristics of white fur is that it isn't actually just white. So you can't get away with leaving the white of the paper as the whites of the fur, because usually even the kind of lighter areas to fur tends to have some color to it. Most white fur will have some shades of blue, and there can also be presence of yellow as well. And then, of course, depending on the lighting, and then different kind of animals, you can have either more or less of those colors in the fur, as well as white fur also may have some shades of brown in it as well. So I got my first layer of the cool gray down, then I'm going to go over the top of that with a really light layer of a light blue, just to give it a little bit more of a blue color to it than it otherwise would with just using some cool grays. And then oftentimes with white fur, it isn't just going to be a case of using, if your set has cool grays and warm grays, it isn't going to be a case of just using cool grays. You oftentimes have to use both. So I added in a layer of a warm gray, particularly in the areas where there's more of a shadow that you can kind of see in the reference that I'm using. And this is going to add some warmer colors. And oftentimes this warmer tone is present in some of the lighter areas as well. So when you're getting ready to draw white fur, it's really important that you try to just take some time to study the colors that you think you see. And using just practice runs like this little fur swatch that I'm working on here can really help yourself out in just trying to play around with your color mixing and trying to get the ultimate colors right for achieving the effect that you're going for with your reference photo. So once I got all of those kind of base colors into the fur, I blended out with odorless mineral spirits so that way it's kind of semi-permanent into the paper. And then anything I add over the top of it, of course, will not be quite as affected as it would with the under layer. And oftentimes that's how I do a lot of my work, is I get my base layer blended down with odorless mineral spirits, and then you're going to be doing, or I typically do, a lot of stroke layers over the top of that to layer in the actual fur details. And what you're doing with drawing all of these individual strokes is you're actually drawing the shadows to the fur. And the key to making shadows and adding the colors and making it all look realistic is using multiple shades of values, not using just one or two, but oftentimes three or even sometimes more. It just depends on the subject and then of course how much of a difference there is in the values. So I am using the same cool gray that I used before for the base layer, and I am going over the top and adding my first set of stroke layers in, and this is going to be with a lot more pressure than I originally did with the base layer. So the base layer was just to kind of get a general color in and try and get the values accurate to the highlighted areas that I see in the reference photo. And now I'm just trying to get a bunch of strokes in. I'm pressing hard sometimes, and other times I'm not pressing as hard. And then of course I am using quite a dull pencil because I don't want to have a whole bunch of really thin looking hairs, fur clumps together. So the more that you can use a dull pencil, not necessarily super dull, but like you can see how dull my pencil is. It's not like insanely dull, but definitely isn't sharp. And the more you use a dull pencil, the more realistic your fur will actually end up looking, because what you're drawing is shadows, and the shadows aren't a bunch of thin lines. They're actually kind of shaped different. There's kind of V-shaped patterns, there's thick lines, and then there are also some thin lines as well. And then all of these shadowy shapes kind of change direction. So by using a dull pencil and just kind of rotating it as you draw, you'll be able to draw some more of those different varying shapes a lot easier. And another thing to take note is that your ultimate result, what it's not going to end up looking exactly like the reference photo. And if you try to draw exactly like the reference photo, you can take an insanely amount of time that's not necessary to try and draw fur. You just need to kind of memorize what kind of patterns you need to be doing to recreate the patterns that you're seeing in the reference photo. So now what I'm doing is I am using a kind of mid shade, well, I guess it's darker. It's not entirely mid shade, but if you count black as being dark, then this is mid shade. But I'm using a darker warm gray color because the shadows for this fur, even though the highlights do kind of have a cool color to them and some of the midtones as well, as I added those blues in to get that, but a lot of the shadows actually kind of have a slight warm color to them. I'm seeing yellows and a little bit of red. So your warm grays are going to incorporate those colors into the fur and help it look realistic. So I am working in some darker strokes as well as just adding some general really large strokes with back and forth motions to create really sharp, or not, I mean really sharp, I mean really blunt, shadowy kind of shapes to create some of the varying gradients to the fur as well. So there aren't just a bunch of individual strokes. There's actually some areas where the whole section or a larger section is shaded, especially down in the right corner. Now that I've got kind of the first start of that warm gray in, now I'm going through again doing the same process, but this time with a cool gray, because oftentimes white fur is kind of a blend between cool and warm colors. So with this cool gray though, I am also trying to use the flat of the pencil to try and get a broader spectrum of adding this color to the whole darker side so that I can darken a wider area, because if you look at the reference photo, you'll notice that it's not all of the highlighted hairs in the darker section aren't as white or light as the hairs in the really white sections of fur. So I want to go over those to try and darken those out. And now I am using odorless mineral spirits again with a brush. And oftentimes when you're drawing fur, you may do a process that works for one set of fur, but you may not do it for another set of fur. When you're working on your drawings, even all of your practice runs, you're just trying to work on your techniques. And oftentimes, depending on the day, we all draw differently. If you look at your handwriting from day to day, it's kind of different depending on the day. It's never exactly the same. I mean, it gets close, but essentially our drawing is kind of the same way. So you're not always going to do everything exactly the same every single time you sit down to draw. So trying to construct your drawing as a whole, it's going to be a process of deciding what the drawing needs, how much you've applied, and how much you need to change this or that to get it to where it needs to be. So you're going to be changing around a lot of the processes that you will be doing to try and get to where you need to be, and you may not even be doing exactly all of the steps that I would do in these tutorials. So now you've seen me add a darker blue to this bottom section to kind of darken out and get a little bit more of that purpley blue color into the fur as well. And then I went over and added another light layer of blue to get a little bit more of that just blue cast. Now I'm going back through and working in another fur stroke layer. I wanted to blend out my first fur stroke layer because I felt like I didn't have enough soft buildup of those kind of shapely shadows into the fur. So by using the odorless mineral spirits, I softened everything out. And then now I'm going back through and just kind of reworking the same process, adding in another fur stroke layer to rebuild up some of those shadows for the fur. And I'm working into some of the little characteristics of this fur as well to add some of those darker strokes in that particular section that's up in the lighter fur. And as you're drawing, as I said before, it doesn't have to be exactly like the reference photo. You really just need to focus on trying to get your technique down on how to mimic the patterns that you're seeing for the fur and just getting down your basic construction of how you're doing your strokes, kind of the patterns that you're repeating as you draw those strokes to ultimately get you the patterns you're seeing in the reference photo for the fur that you're trying to draw. I am taking a light cool gray now to kind of go over the top of all of this lower section as well as the upper lighter section of the fur. I don't know why I'm calling it lower and higher. I mean, I guess it's just because it's in the shadow, 3D wise it is lower. But so I was kind of adding the lighter cool gray in there to take down the tones of the highlights. So some of those areas I felt like were a little bit too light. So adding that cool gray over the top of it, darken them out just a little bit. And now I'm going to use the warm gray to go over this again and start adding in some darker strokes. And I'm pressing fairly hard with doing this to make sure that those specific strokes are as dark as they need to be, because right now I'm trying to get those values accurate because that is what makes this look realistic. It is the most important factor in drawing realistic furs, making sure you have a good enough contrast of values. Your highlights are very accurate to the tone that they need to be. Your midtones are accurate, and especially your shadows. If your shadows are not accurate, it will really throw off your drawing. And now I'm using a white colored pencil to go over the top of all of the white of the fur. I'm softening out some of the strokes that I did before as well. And I'm also, it's not really lightening anything up, but in the instance of the darker areas of the fur, it is kind of lightening some things up as I make strokes. If you would like to learn more about drawing fur or animals, you can watch the top right video. Or you can also learn how to draw wildlife and pets from my 1 to 15 hour real-time drawing tutorials over on Patreon for as little as $5 to $10 a month. Signing up gives you instant access to a library of tutorials for colored pencil, graphite, and soft pastel, with new ones added every single month. I'll have a link to my Patreon in the description. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.